Assalamu alaykum, widely available people. Look, summer is around the corner, and a lot of you guys are probably thinking, look, I gotta get in shape, I gotta get shredded, I gotta get lean, I gotta feel good and look good. But most of you guys don't really know how to do that. So let me break it down to you on exactly how to do that in less than 10 minutes just because I feel really generous and nice today. So a few years ago, I looked like this. I looked like you guys. Average. But then one day I was like, hold on a minute fam, this ain't it, we gotta lock in. So I went on a 6-week cut and got shredded. It wasn't easy, but it was certainly possible. Alright, so this is what I look like right now. I'm so hungry. How did I do it? Mindset. To be honest with you, it all comes down to mindset, because before I simply did it just to look good in front of people, and honestly I was relying on people's compliment just so I can feel confident about myself. That was the problem. But then I was like, hold on a minute. God created our body, so we are supposed to take care of it. The problem is that if you do it for the sake of people, you will never truly feel confident about yourself because you're constantly relying on their validation. And if you chase that, you're just not gonna be happy, to be honest. But if you do it to keep your body healthy, every single rep, every single meal, macros, calories that you track, you're doing it for the sake of gratitude. This is when you start to realize that confidence no longer comes from compliments, but it comes from knowing that you're honoring what Allah entrusted you with, what God entrusted you with. So before you get on the cut, always ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it for people? Is it for me? Is it to keep me healthy? Is it for the sake of God? So always remember what your intention is. Now let's get into the science, and this is where a lot of people get confused. But it's actually pretty simple. It's simply calories in and calories out. To lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit, period. Basically, you need to be burning more calories than what you consume. There's a million ways of doing this, but it's just mainly a combination of exercise, cardio, and dieting. Step 1, simply figure out your maintenance calories and subtract 500 calories off of that. That should roughly give you 1 pound of weight loss a week. What you need to do next is simply install MyFitnessPal. From there, in the app, you can track all the food that you've been eating and you can see exactly where your calories are coming from. Now, you're probably gonna ask me, yo, Fareed, what about like the fad diets like the keto, paleo, carnivore diet? Look, they work not because they're magical or something. They work because they put you in a calorie deficit. But also at the same time, that kind of sounds miserable. So you gotta keep things nice and sustainable. So now that you're in a calorie deficit, what should you really be eating? You can technically eat whatever you want. You can eat a donut if you wanted to and still lose weight.
This one?
Get out!
Which one do you want?
Get out!
But what matters is the quality of the food that you're eating. When it comes to dieting, there's 3 criteria that you should follow. You should be getting food that's low in calorie, high in volume, and high in protein. Think of lean protein sources like chicken breast, fish, ground beef, lean ground beef to be specific, yogurt, right? You also want to load up on a lot of like vegetables because vegetables are super low in calories, but they're very filling. For example, a bowl of broccoli can make you really full, but that will only equal to 50 to 80 calories. It's not that much. Also, you don't want to forget about the healthy fats as well, like avocados, butter, and nuts as well, but you just be careful on that because it is high in calories, but they can keep you really full as well. Now, you might be asking, what about cravings? We're all gonna have cravings in a week. You can be consistent in this diet, but there's gonna be a day where like, oh, I wanna eat that one food that I really enjoy, and it might be unhealthy. Learn how to cook.
You're a grown-ass person trying to go to a restaurant or fast food chain just so you can satisfy your belly.
Buddy,
have you seen this economy? It's mad expensive and you're thinking about spending $15 on a burger and fries.
once you're on that calorie deficit, you're gonna lose a lot of pounds immediately. You start to notice that the scale is going down. But there's one major flaw in this calorie deficit. A lot of people are gonna notice that they're plateauing. Why? Metabolism. Now let me briefly explain what exactly is happening to your body once you go on a calorie deficit. So over here, your calories are really low, your maintenance is up here, but now your calorie deficit is over here, and this is how much you're eating, right? So the moment you're in that deficit, your metabolism is up here. But then if you stay too long in that like caloric deficit, right, your metabolism tries to balance out. It lowers itself. Why? Homeostasis. And when your calorie is down here and your metabolism is crashing slowly, your weight starts to go down less and less and less. It flattens out like this, right? A flat line. But in order to counteract that, what you're gonna do is implement a refeed day. And essentially what it is you just up your calories by 200 to 600 calories up with carbs. And you wanna do this on a specific day, maybe just a Monday, for example, or a Sunday. Like either you do it once a week or twice a week, it really depends. Like the only way to know when to implement a refeed day is when your weight on the scale is not going down. It's like you can obviously tell that there's a plateau happening with your weight loss. I'm gonna be for real with you guys, like calorie deficits sometimes suck because to be honest, you're gonna get hungry, right? But there's ways to go around that, and that is, number one, high volume food. I mentioned it already, but I'll mention it again. For example, you wanna get food that is high in volume and low in calorie. So that would be like vegetables, a lot of them. Number two, intermittent fasting. Now this can work for some people, but it's not for everyone. Like if you're the type of person who's prone to binge eating, maybe don't do it, right? And number three is stimulants. For example, caffeine. Caffeine actually does help curb your appetite. So use it wisely and don't take it at night because that's dumb. Number four is carb timing. So when it comes to carb timing, you actually want to eat most of your carbs of the day before working out and after working out. This will help you replenish your glycogen stores, and essentially what it is energy. That's what it is. Now, in order to be consistent with your weight loss, it's not just like dieting, okay? It's not just dieting. You actually have to, track your progress, measure your weight like every single day so you're aware of what's going on with your body. You can see that there's progress happening, because if you don't track anything, how are you gonna know? You can't just simply feel it, right? You actually gotta visually see it. You know what I'm saying? Now let's talk about cardio and exercising. Look, there's a lot of exercises out there. There's upper, lower, PPL, Arnold split. Doesn't matter. As long as you're working hard, that's what matters. Keep your intensity up, but also always remember to maintain your strength. Now, when it comes to cardio, you wanna do something that's low impact. As in, it doesn't do too much, problems to your joint. There's no hard hitting, none of that cardio stuff like running. Basically, avoid anything that's gonna completely trash your joints. All right, look, conclusion time. Based on the time of the day, because it's getting dark, so we're concluding the video. All right, anyways, basically all it is, stay consistent, do as much as you can, and everything that I just said, try to follow it. Look,
inshallah, cuz
you're not gonna get it 100%. Just remember this, you're not gonna get it 100%, but at least try to come close to it, 80 to 90%, okay? That is better than not doing any of the stuff that I just told you at all. Even with 80 to 90%, of action, will still get you the result regardless. Maybe it might take you a little bit longer, but it doesn't mean you won't get the result. One last thing before I go, this is my client, by the way, and this is him right after training with me. And he's not even done yet, by the way. He's still on the cut. If you are serious, if you want to transform right away in the next 90 days, I can get you sorted out just like that.
Wallah, cuz.
Okay? If I did it to myself and if I did it to my client, I can do it to you too. All right, anyways, click the link below, book a call, and I'll sort you out if you're serious. All right, Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.